What's going on, everybody? This here's James, Urban Picker. Find my store at urban-picker.com. I'm still waiting for urbanpicker.com to become free so I can buy it. But urban-picker.com as of now. Before we get into items I've sold today, if you watched my last video, like I said, I'll go backwards a little bit and go through other things, bring up new stories, old stories, but I thought first I'm going to show you exactly how I keep track of my purchases and how I keep myself in check pretty much so that I don't, overspend too much. Because to be honest with you, I've been doing this 17 years and probably the first 10, 11 years, I ran myself into some debt and I'm still there. I'm still climbing out of it. Obviously, with 5 storage lockers full of product, you will do that. So what I changed things up, and I didn't go to college for any business, so it was 10 years of learning on my own. And so what I do nowadays, and almost for the last year to keep myself in check, is I have, if you look here in my eBay store, I have categories from May 27th. So each month I make a category, and stuff that I have bought within that month, I will put in these folders. What this does is 2 things actually. For the buyer, it keeps you know where my newest items are. So it's easy to just go into here. Oh, let's see what he's putting up this month. So it's good on the buying standpoint. Also, on the keeping myself in check standpoint, what it does too is it keeps all the numbers separated so that I know what I've sold, compare that to what I've spent, and if I'm in the profit or not. So let's just go through some March 2018 picks for the month. This is probably like the first page, just some stuff I picked up. Nerf guns. I probably got tons of Nerf guns in storage I haven't even got to yet. I need to get those up because they do sell pretty well. Let's see. If you watched my first video, I talked about local artists, local indie artists. That is an example right there. This Bud Light series thing always does well. If you're familiar with that. The Real Men of Genius, those commercials that used to run. All right, so we got a bunch of hats here. I love discolored and distressed hats because you're not going to find that hat looking like that anywhere else. So let's see. All right, page, hats, CDs. All right, so as of right now, okay, 874 items up in March. Now what I can do is, let me go here. Let me show you what I do first over on my Excel. I've got an Excel spreadsheet, and for every purchase, I put down the amount I spent, the number of pieces I bought, and the average per price. And then I break it down, 52 media, bought 162 items of clothes, etc., where I bought. If I need to pay myself back because I got used cash. So what this does, it keeps it all, obviously. So as of right now in March, I've spent $687.92. I've bought 2,600 items, average price of, I'm guessing that's rounded up to 30 because it should be more like 25, 26 cents if you do the math. It's probably about let's just say 26 cents per item. And then one thing this does too is, as I'm going forward, I always look at my past months. So if I have a month that, say, in 8 months from now, I go, man, March stuff is still killing it. What did I do in March? Where did I get that product from? I can go back to my March and go, okay, here's where I got my product. That's why I'm killing it. So it does two good things. Keeps you in check for that month, and then also you can go back if you're still killing it month after month from your March purchases. So we got $687 spent. Move that back out of the way. What I've sold so far in March for just March purchases, things that I have bought in March, 225 items at $1,036. So I'm already in the profit for the items I bought in March. And what I tried to do is be in the profit before the end of the month. And then, if I'm not, I stop buying and I continue listing. So the active listings for March right now is 874. So that's what, about 1,100 items. And if you remember, I bought 2,600 items. So I still got a good 1,400 items sitting in storage that I have not listed yet from just March alone. And that's what I've been working on the last few days. Obviously, since the last video, I've added a few more shirts and what have you. So that gives you an idea on how to, kind of keep track of what's going on. And then here also too, this is broke down just for March items. The 874 items I have listed for March. My retail asking price is $8,417. So if I've got more than double that in storage, let's just round that up, say $16,000 will be my retail price, asking price, for a total of let's just say $700 spent for the month. Obviously you're not going to get asking prices for everything, and everything's not going to sell. So even if you just cut that number in half and just say 8,000, turning $700 into 8,000, that's some good money. So that's what I do to kind of keep myself in check, to make sure I don't overspend and to make sure I'm turning a profit every month. All right. So hopefully that will, be helpful to some people and give you some new ideas or what have you. Let me just look. And like I said, I can go back further through other months and see what I've listed. What I'm planning on doing is when this month comes around, a month before, what I will do is launch all these items probably at auction for really cheap. And then so I can eliminate the 2017 folder and make a 2018 folder. So after 1 year, 11 months technically, I will just try to clearance all this stuff out to next to nothing. And then what doesn't sell, I'll just put back in my stored asking price, or cut in half asking price, I should say. And then when it sells, it sells, because everything eventually will sell, as long as you stay on top of, your pricing. So I'm going back here. A lot of stuff I don't even remember buying. All right, let's get into sold. How about that? So here we are. Let's just start here. Where am I at? Page 10, March 1st. Let's start in here because this is these two excited me. They were surprises. I couldn't find any value for them online. So what I did was just launch them at auction, and boom, boom, a couple of surprises. 8-tracks, there's still a big collection for 8-track, big collectors for 8-tracks out there, especially if you find the groups on Facebook and what have you. I received a call one day from a friend who said, "Hey, I've got this collection if you want it. I know this person." He hooked me up with a person. I paid $250, and I got about 12,000 items. I had about 8,000 cassettes and about 4,000 8-track tapes. These two are from that. This is 10 years ago, and I'm just now getting to some of the stuff. I still have probably half of those items, probably a good 6,000 plus of that lot, still in storage, still waiting to be put up. And I need to get to that. Just to give you an idea of some of my storage media items. Let's pop up some pictures here. There's a little picture, just boxes and boxes of media, CDs, cassettes, DVDs, what have you. 8 tracks, obviously right there. So I got tons of this stuff, just following with records. That, because obviously, if you can't tell, I love buying by bulk. That's where you get your best prices from, is in bulk. It just takes up a lot of room and takes up storage fees. So that's the only downfall. But if your profit margin is big enough, you don't really have to worry about that too much. So let's start paging through here. I love just generic graphic tees. This is actually one buyer. I've got 2 buyers who will come in, one from Ohio, one from Florida, who will just come in and buy 10 to 15 of these graphic tees at one time. The thing I don't like about this sold items, not everything shows up. So there is stuff missing. I noticed that yesterday when I was doing that video, because I had sold a pair of Rock Revival jeans that didn't show up for some reason. So there are things that won't show up. Shoes, obviously, I'll get into more shoes later because I haven't really bought any shoes lately. Actually, I'm going today probably pick up a few pairs because I got some free gift certificate money, rewards money that I need to spend before I lose it. Great Wolf Lodge stuff. I grab that stuff every time I see it, and it usually sells pretty well. Obviously, more media, more shirts. Fish. Probably about when I first started the business, and this is probably going back 13, 14 years, I had this local guy call me, found me on eBay, and said, "Hey, I've got all these CDs in long boxes that I just need to get out of here and get rid of them. Do you want them?" Obviously, he's selling them, but I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I ended up going over there and picking up boxes and boxes of these new sealed long boxes. And I ended up paying like 18 cents a piece for them. And I still got boxes of these in storage, if you can believe that. But they sell slowly, but I have very, very little money wrapped up in them. Another big purchase I made was something like this was an ex-library was rebuilding, and they sent all their items to a recycler. The recyclable place was going under. Somebody contacted me. Actually, he went into a local record store, and they weren't going to buy this stuff. And a friend of mine who actually worked there gave him my name and number, and he ended up calling me and asking me if I wanted to come down, take a look at the stuff, and maybe buy it. So I went down to this recyclable place, and they were just moving the stuff cheap. So what I did is I offered $100 a skid on this stuff, and he ended up, accepting it, which was awesome. But it was a lot of work to get through this stuff. I ended up having to get a U-Haul truck again, and let me move this over so it's not distracting. I ended up getting a U-Haul truck to get all these pallets and pallets of items. I ended up with 6 pallets total from this at $100 a piece. And there they all are right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I guess one more here at the end. The cool thing was it averaged out to about 6 cents per item. And I've probably had maybe 3 books and CDs made me back that entire amount of money. I've sold some of them for $100, $150, and which was surprising to me because before that I didn't know too much about books on CD. So that was a good score. there. More hats. One question I'm asked a lot about these CDs is, what CD have you sold for the highest amount of money? And it's still, to this day, CD right here. I've sold two of them in the past. One I sold in 2014, picked up at Goodwill. I sold it for almost 500 bucks. I think it was like $475. And then I found another one a couple of years later in about 2016. I put it up for auction, hoping to at least get the same amount of money for it. And it ended up going for like $1,050. So that's my record still to this day for a CD is $1,050. And what this is a local rap artist back to the indie music. And the first one went to Switzerland. The second one, I believe, went to Japan, if I remember correctly. Japan or Norway, one of the two. I can't quite remember exactly because those three places a lot of collectible indie stuff goes to. So that's been my best find so far when it comes to media. Let's see, another tip. How about this? Every year, if you check your local Walgreens and box stores, I used to do Kmart before they went out, they will clearance off their holiday items. So in November, you can get some good stuff. I got these at Walgreens, and I probably got some old pictures here of Walgreens. Let me look. Here we go. Some Walgreens pickups of just seasonal items. I believe I got all this at 90% off. So a lot of cool stuff. This was an older batch. This was probably the year before this dog toy. This dog toy was part of last year's batch. This picture was the year before. So a lot of good stuff there. Some Cardinals stuff. I grab anything Cardinals, even if it's Build-A-Bear. More shoes. Here's another pound store item score, which was just laying there. Everybody was passing on. I'm like, wait a minute. There's something special about this board. So I grabbed it, threw it in the cart, and it ended up selling. So I love the horror DVDs. I was all sure one person, I'm sure. Prince, obviously. Page it down through here some more. No more. Well, I guess that's about all. I've gone on long enough. Here's another, talking about my last video, another item that just lays at the pound store that everybody passes on. It's like, boom, grab, go. All right. Anytime you see fast food hats, grab them. Always does well for me. Here's another buyer who buys the generic tees from me. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. This one was from last year. Walgreens score. Didn't even notice that. $41. $41. All right. So I guess that's all the info I'll give you for the day. I've got a little bit more scrolling here. See if anything pops out. Gotta love Japan imports, especially when they have their OBI. If you don't know what an OBI is, it's the advertising strip here on Japanese CDs. A little closer look for you. That's an OBI strip. So when you see OBI strip, that's what they're talking about. Last year score. I wonder if I got any more. Oh, these are those wooden top things, and they're sold out. Just something simple like that. Boom. So I would have paid, the price is off, but probably paid like 50 cents for them. More of the 8-tracks from my huge 8-track purchase. Nautica hats always sell pretty quick. All right. There we are. There's everything for you. And there's another stunning picture of me with a car load of stuff in this video on. Those came from a thrift store, St. Vincent de Paul. Those are beddings for college sports teams. Anyway, there you are. Hope you liked this video. Hopefully it gave you some knowledge, some tips that you can use to further yourself, better yourself. And until next time, thank you for watching. Later. www.urban-picker.com